Hi guys, welcome back to another Spanish lesson. Today I'm so excited because it's going to be very simple and easy for you to remember, but something that is super important, which is pretty much just like the accents and different ways that people speak Spanish. So the first thing I want to talk a little bit about is accents, right? In every country, there's a little bit of different accents, a little bit of different like slang almost. So it's really important that we just kind of talk about Spanish, how it is, the rules of Spanish, the things that you need to know about Spanish. Depending where you are, it'll be a little bit different and you'll just kind of have to roll with it. But I've talked to people from like almost every South American country and it's the same Spanish, right? There's obviously sometimes words that you don't really understand, but you can catch on to by the context. So it's really fine. But today is going to be really important because we're going to talk a little bit about sounds and how they're a little bit different. So the first one we're going to talk about is two L's. That looks like an 11, but it's two L's. So for example, in English, if we're going to say yellow, it's just an L, right? Yellow. But if we're doing it in Spanish, it makes a y sound, right? So yellow in Spanish is amarillo. Right there with those two L's, right? Amarillo. So like I said, I learned how to speak Spanish in Paraguay. And I knew a lot of people and I've spoken to a lot of people who learned in Argentina or who are from Argentina. And instead of saying this like amarillo, they'll say amarillo. Like that. Even though it's technically still spelled this way, but they'll say amarillo because that's their accent, right? So we know that yo is I, right? Me. But then in Argentina or maybe like Uruguay as well, they'll say yo. So it just kind of depends where you are on how you're going to pronounce the double L, right? So this double L can be pronounced in a lot of different ways. Typically, and most commonly, it's yo, right? Like yo quiero agua. We know that one. Or amarillo, right? But if you hear amarillo or yo quiero agua, it's the same thing. It's just a different kind of accent, right? So along with this, along with amarillo, I want to talk a little bit about colors because something I found that was really helpful for me when I was learning Spanish is focusing on one thing at a time, right? So for one whole week, I'd work on months. For the next whole week, I'd work on numbers. The next whole week would be weekdays, right? So today we're going to talk a little bit about colors because I feel like if we just start with the basics, it'll be easier for everybody. So we're going to do this by using our colors so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. I'm just going to write them down. You can write them as well, and then we'll talk about them. Okay, I just finished all the colors, and I did them in their color so we can kind of remember what we're talking about here. So as you can see in red, rojo, right? It's not rojo because the H sound doesn't exist in Spanish, right? So if you see the last name Hernandez, it's Hernandez. And like sister in Spanish, brother, hermana y hermano, it's not hermano or hermana, it's hermana. You just start without the H, right? Hermana with an E. So the J will make the H sound. So this is pronounced rojo, like that, okay? But of course, it's spelled with the J. So naranja, same thing. This is like an H, naranja. We talked about amarillo with the double L, right? Amarillo. So this can be pronounced amarillo or amarillo, depending where you are. And one of my favorite things about Spanish is your B's and V's can be totally like intertwined almost. So I don't say verde, I say verde. I don't know why. That's just how I was learned to say it. So you can say that one with a B or a V. Verde, verde. Like everyone will understand what you mean. I just felt like it was easier to say verde, right? Azul, that one's pretty, you can sound that one out, it's fine. And then azul obscuro. Obscuro means dark. So you can technically use that for any one of these colors, but I felt like it was most commonly used with blue. So obscuro means dark. It can also mean like the darkness, like, oh, it's really obscuro outside, right? Morado. Something else about Spanish is you can see right here, there's just one R. And typically when people are like joking about Spanish or they'll try and read something, they'll roll every single R. But when it's just one R, you say it like your regular R, morado, right? But if it was two R's, it'd be morado. Does that kind of make sense? The double R is when you roll it. But when it's a single R, it just makes the R sound, right? Rosa. You can kind of say it however you want, I guess, but that's technically the rule about it. And then gris, because the letter I equals the English E, right? So the letter I in Spanish always makes the E sound. That was hard for me to remember, but once you get it down, like it's not hard, gris. So this is literally spelled like how we would say, like Grease, the movie. Is that with a C? I think it's with a C. It's with a C. My apologies. Negro, that one's not hard. You can send that one out. And then blanco. So those ones are pretty easy, but it's just really important to remember that some of the sounds in Spanish are a little bit different, like the H and the J and the double L. So that was our super quick lesson for today. I hope that that was helpful for you guys. And if you have any questions about other letters in another lesson, we're going to go over the alphabet. So make sure to come back for that one. But that's pretty much the simplest way that I can explain some of the most common words that we use and the sounds that are in them. But for the most part, Spanish is so easy with the letters because each letter only has one sound. But we're going to go over all of that and all the details in another video. So make sure to go watch that one. But thank you for watching this one, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.